it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. It's great to have you here again today. So I am wanting to do an overview of the weight loss helping you platform of NOOM. I guess it's for weight loss. I'm sure other people use it for other things, but I think generally NOOM is known for helping you with weight loss success. And I just wanted to go over kind of my experience with it. I have been doing it since I think I signed up in like last October. So I'm almost at the end of my prepaid program, which was 8 months long. So I think I only have about 3 weeks left. And to be quite honest, I've already just tapped out. So we'll just get into it though. I'm going to show you how it works and then also some of my pros and cons that I've learned throughout the process. But let me go over the app first, and I'll just kind of do a brief overview of kind of what it looks like. This is the NOOM app. As you can see, there are courses, and some of these courses, they all have lessons. Some of these, each of these 201s, 202s, blah, 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 they have sometimes anywhere from, they can take 1 week to complete up to some of them like 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, that's how the courses work. This is the main daily app that you can see. So you have your classes and then you have your meals to put in every single day. Again, your amount of intake is based off of your gender and things like that. It has your weight. You do have to put that in every single day. Your steps, they want you to hit around 10,000, but they do give you an overall, just like an overall chance, I guess, to develop into that. So my suggested time was 1,800 calories. This is the messages that I guess one of the hardest things was they fired people recently and they got rid of like my personal person, Megan, who I was talking to for like 6 months. So now I have the NOOM bot, as you can see, and they just recently sent me these generic posts. And at that point, I'm not gonna lie, that's when I kind of tapped out. It does say reach out to them and reply and they'll give you a one-on-one coach. I just didn't do it. Honestly, oh, Morgan, sorry, I thought it was Megan. Morgan was my girl, as you can see. I talked to her for a long time, but she's not there anymore. So this is my group. This is just where they put you in a group and people in there can post things, and then your group coach, she posts things I think every day about. I never really used it, so I don't know what to tell you there. My weight graph, I'm just going to show it to you guys right now. This is my weight graph. I've averaged in 8 months to lose about 8 pounds. It's not a lot. I obviously was hoping for more, but we'll get into that later. And then there's recipes, there's the library. The library is just any of the articles that I saved from the course progression and the lessons. So you can save your lessons. And then there's just the settings. So that's where you can adjust your things and, just the regular things on your bio, right? And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. There wasn't really anything. I mean, it's a good interface. Don't get me wrong. The app is really, really good. So, that was the app that I like logged into for at least 6 to 7 months, like religiously. Like, I'm not even lying, absolutely religiously. So let's just get into, we'll start with the pros, or you know what, let me backtrack. Let's talk about the cost. Okay. That's what everybody always wants to know. So, the cost for me, and I went back on my account and checked, was $171 for 8 months. So that averaged $21.30 per month. I signed up with it knowing that it was going to be different than like a Weight Watchers. That is definitely all about food, or I guess now it's WW. I did it when it was called Weight Watchers. I did lose a good 20 to 30 pounds on that. But there were days where I was so hungry. I'm not gonna lie, I was starving. So I ended up not continuing on with WW at that point. But I feel like for the price at $21.30, it is a little bit more. When you sign up for NOOM, you should know that it's definitely about courses and daily interaction. Like, you have to log in daily. There is really, like, if you don't log in daily, you're not really getting your money's worth. And then like it's supposed to help you, as they say in the ads, with more of the understanding of things, your psychological reasoning and things like that. There are pros to that and cons to that. I will also get into that later. But for the dollar amount, it is a little bit pricey. But I don't know. I'm not gonna continue on with it, I'll say. It's up to people, honestly, and I'm not the most disciplined sometimes because I don't really have a lot of support here, I would say. My husband, guys, let's be honest, they can like eat whatever they want and then they'll like work out for a week and they're down 30 pounds. So like he just eats whatever he wants, and he's not the most like stern person. So he won't ever tell me like you shouldn't eat that. He's just kind of like, do what you want. So for me, I just don't have a lot of self-control sometimes, and I know that. But I just am not going to be renewing it, definitely because of some of the changes that they had made recently as well. Okay, so let's get into the pros. Food tracking. Okay, so I really did like the food tracking of the app. I liked going in there every day and being able to put in the food that I have eaten. You can scan the labels, which I feel like is common on almost all the food apps now. And I don't know, I thought it was good because it really helped me make sure I stayed within my caloric intake, which is what they really are looking for. I don't know, I thought it was good, and I think I would continue to keep that up because I know in order to lose weight is you can't just be like binge eating all the time, right? So it just kind of keeps you accountable. And sometimes when you see it and you see it written down or on an app or something, you realize like, maybe I shouldn't eat something else later because I just had a chocolate bar or something like that. So I feel like when you see it and you acknowledge it, you're less likely to want to keep eating things like that in that day. So I did like the food tracking of it. Next was the direct contact in the beginning. So Morgan was my direct contact. I used her all the time compared to my group coach. That group coach literally just posts generic things every day. Morgan was very specific. Now, she would definitely read my messages in return, but sometimes it felt a little surface level because she would always then reply with more questions. So it was definitely one of those like question relationships. I don't know if you've ever had that when you meet somebody and you just constantly are asking questions because you don't know what else to say. So I wouldn't say it's very personable, but she was very encouraging. And knowing that at any point, I could check in with her, or she honestly would reach out to me and be like, I haven't heard from you in a few days. It was good. It was good. I think that was my only type of support, to be quite honest, at that point. So Morgan was fantastic. Now I say in the beginning because I guess I don't know if she's there anymore. They got rid of a lot of their staff in the last month from some changes that they're doing at NOOM. And so after that, like I said, the NOOM bot, just not going to do it for me. And they said, respond and we'll get you a one-on-one coach. But from what I have heard also, you have to call in and Skype and Zoom. And I don't know if I'm that type of person to do that. I don't know. And I'm at the end of my membership. And so I feel like maybe if it was at the beginning, I would have done it. But now that I'm at the end of it, I literally have 2 or 3 weeks left. It's just not worth it to me. So lessons daily. Okay. The lessons, let me show you a lesson. Take a look here on my screen. So this is one of the lessons that you click on. So you have to do these every day. You can choose how much time you want to dedicate to them. I did mine 10 minutes a day is what I did. Now that I know, I would not recommend that for everybody. However, I did 10 minutes a day. And so you have to go through these lessons. For me, it averaged about 4 to 5 lessons a day. And this is just an example of one of those lessons. Now, this is not the whole day. This is just one of the 4 or 5 that I had to do at some point during the day. Usually I tried to do it in the morning. So I did like some of these lessons. I'm going to say I like the first half of the program more of my courses, 101 and all the way through to the 200s. Those were more of my favorites. Those ones covered things like introductions, the food, motivation. It also had some sleep and stress and things like that, and how to balance that with food. And I really did appreciate a lot of those lessons and things like that. So I did learn a lot, and I am somebody who likes to learn and continue learning. I don't think anybody can ever peak their learning, if that makes sense. So I like to keep my brain fresh, but there are some cons to that, and I'll get into this later, but that is just one of the examples of one of the lessons that I did. And you can't go through to the next lesson until you finish the current one. So That's just a complete example of what I had to do every day. And then my next pro though was the activity tracker. So I did like the activity tracker on here because it synced with my watch. So when I was, especially during this time I was training for my half marathon, it automatically would link up to the app, so I wouldn't have to hand put in anything, which was fantastic. I never had to worry about it. I never had to think about it. And for me, that's what it was worth, as long as I had my watch on that day. So yes, I really did appreciate that. I think it really made things a lot easier for me in the experience. Okay, let's get into the cons or the negatives. I have selected 4 of them. So the first one's gonna be the group chat, or the group sessions, as they put. Honestly, it did absolutely nothing for me. People post things on there that they've completed their jog. Then the group leader, she posts just random articles every day. But honestly, there's no accountability to it. There's honestly no point in doing it. I mean, people would post there and like people would heart it and you get like 1 or 2 hearts, and there would be groups of like 70 or more. So those group chats or whatever, it just didn't make any sense to me. I don't think it served a purpose. I don't even know what the group leader's purpose was for that, because it's not like she was the one that was actually talking to us on the side for our one-on-one stuff. So I don't know what that was all about. So to me, that was just a negative. I never honestly used it in 8 months. Okay, next, the lessons. Okay, so we had kind of just talked about how there were some good things about it, and I like definitely the first half of it. However, the lessons, there are so many of them. Now, when I say so many of them, okay, if you go back to the beginning of my video, at the beginning of this, you can see my course progress, and it goes in and out like this. I hit the bottom, okay, which is 304, it's called. I literally, for the last few weeks though, I was just like not even reading. I was just scrolling through them because I was so tired. My brain hurt, okay? It is an overload of information. I cannot stress that anymore. Overload, okay? Like I said, I like to learn. However, 10 minutes a day for 8 months, okay? When I say that, and I know that is true because I finished my course and I thought it would stop. So I thought once I got to 304, because there's nowhere else down there for me to go showing on my progress report, I thought I was done. I hit it, I got so excited. And then more kept showing up every single day. It was just so much. I mean, guys, I'm not kidding you. Try doing it for 6 months straight, 10 minutes a day, maybe not every day, obviously, but like as much as you can to get these courses done. And then you think you're done, and then bam, there's 10 minutes a day, every day after that. Like it just kept coming. And it was just so hard for me to process it and then also apply it. I think that was also the hard thing. So I would read it. You do have to read a lot. You would read it, you'd have to process it, and then you'd have to apply it. But then 24 hours later, you're turning around and you're reading and getting in all this new information. And I mean, they get into some real good biology stuff of the body, which I think is great to know, but it's a lot of information to process. And for me, that was a con, just because it felt like it literally never ended, because it didn't. It keeps going. So that was a con for me. Now, the next thing was the weigh in daily. So they were not wanting, they tell you when you weigh in, it's not to beat yourself up or anything like that. It's to create a consistency. Okay, so being consistent with weighing in, being consistent with tracking your food, being consistent with doing the lessons. The weighing in, and I showed you guys my graph earlier on in this video, it did just become, again, a lot. And when you don't see a lot of progress, really does suck. And then in January, in my chart, you'll see that I ended up I had COVID for a week, and it was, I mean, it was kind of like the flu. Like I just was in my bed. I just was not feeling good. And then, so I had like that whole week off. I didn't really eat much. So I lost some weight. You'll see it just tanked. Okay. My weight. And then when I finished, and because I weighed myself a week later, I lost a lot of weight. And then, I'm not kidding you guys, like a week and a half to 2 weeks later, I got extreme food poisoning. I've never had food poisoning in my life that I know of. At least that was this extreme, because I threw up 6 times, and I'm not kidding you, in like 5 hours. And I throw up maybe once every 5 to 6 years of my entire life. And so to throw up that much, I knew I was really, really sick. And knowing that I then had to weigh myself was just kind of like, oh my gosh. So I didn't weigh myself. But then once I recovered like 3 or 4 days later, after literally, I couldn't even keep anything in my stomach. After I like got up and started like feeling a little bit better 4 days later, I weighed myself. And between COVID and the food poisoning all within like the same month, January, like I think it showed on there, I was at 185 pounds, maybe 180, and I dropped almost 10 pounds. Like it was drastic, but nobody wants to do it that way. And then as you can see, my graph goes back up. So what I'm saying is weighing yourself daily, I get the concept of why they're wanting you to, but I don't understand. I don't know. For me, sometimes it's just feeling better about myself and looking and feeling better in my clothes. Like I said, I've been running and working out, and I can already feel like looking at my shape of my face and my arms and things like that, like I have lost weight. It just is not showing up on the scale. And so I've been trying to take a new approach to it, I guess. So I stopped weighing myself a long time ago just because I didn't want to keep feeling that pressure. Because I want to enjoy life. I don't want to eat celery for the rest of my life. I want to enjoy life, which would mean having pizza sometimes or pasta or whatever I wanted, right? So weighing in daily was a little bit of a hassle. Lastly, the NOOM coins. So you can get a NOOM coin by completing all your tasks every single day. So that included tracking all your meals, hitting 10,000 steps, and weighing in daily, as well as doing your lessons. So you had to do all 4 things every single day and hitting complete on the bottom of the pages. I'll get into that in a second, in order to get your NOOM coin for that day. Now I did it as I've said I bailed a little bit a few weeks ago, but a week or 2 ago, but I'll say consistently as much as possible for 7 months. And I only got 94 coins. That means 94 coins. So 3 months, a little over 3 months of 7 months did I actually do everything every single day. There were days though that I got mad because I would track all my food, and in the bottom, I did not click under the dinner section, complete the day. If you do not hit that button, it doesn't automatically track it. And so I lost some points or some coins because of that. So that was kind of annoying. But honestly, the NOOM coins don't really do anything. It's not like you get anything for them. It's just, I guess, for you to see how many days you were successfully able to do all 4 of those tasks in a day. I just didn't see much to it. And like I said, there were just some negatives to it. Like you had to submit and make sure that you complete the day in order to get them. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. I get the kind of the reward for it, but it's not like you actually get anything for it. So NOOM coins were like, don't really understand the purpose. So, okay, that's all I have. However, I just want to do an overall, okay? Overall, I think it helped me mentally understand definitely a lot of things, and I would challenge myself in thinking about my processes when it comes to food or motivation or stress or things like that. And I think that was really good. It gave me something to look forward to every day, especially I think the food tracking. I really got into a rhythm of it, and now that I'm not doing NOOM, I have already downloaded another food tracker for every day because I really am enjoying that like aspect of it. And I think it has helped me at least maintain my weight, if not lower my weight. I've lost about, like I said, 7 to 8 pounds. So, you know, I don't want to gain that back, but it's not like I lost drastic amount of weight. So, yeah, if you want to learn about the body, about stresses and eating and how everything comes together, I would definitely recommend it, but you could probably just buy a book for that. The overall concept is pretty good. I don't know. I just don't think it was for me. And I don't know if I would recommend it to anybody because, I mean, it is my fault too. I might not have been the most disciplined, but everybody's body type is different. And I'm also learning that about myself. There's definitely a lot of genetics and things like that that play into things, and also how you were raised. And so, I don't know. I'm not the most disciplined sometimes because I want to enjoy life. I don't want to be miserable by eating like I said, celery every day. That's just not me. That's not gonna make me happy, and I'd rather be happy and die happy than be skinny and die angry. So I don't know, that's just my take on it. I wouldn't do it again. It wouldn't hurt to try it. You don't have to do 8 months. You can do, I think there was like 3 months, 6 months, or 8 months. And I went with the longer one because I wanted to give it a full go. So yeah, I would leave that up to your own discretion. Maybe do some more research on it. I would not recommend it. I will not be renewing it for myself. But my experience overall, I would say, was good. It just wasn't the results that I had wanted. And with them making a few changes here, again, I don't know how beneficial it's going to be in the future for people, but that's up to you. So I hope this video helps a little bit. If you have any more questions about the NOOM process or app, please let me know. I'd love to get back to you on that stuff. But check out some of my other videos, and thank you for checking in, and it's great to see you here, guys, again. Okay, looking forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye.